Welcome to video 27. Truth, it's all that matters. Hello friend, thanks again for being here. In my last video, I talked about that it's time to forget the ephemeral. Who needs it? It's gone as soon as you realize it's there. And even when we realize it's there, it never was what we thought it was, because it quickly morphs into a different something that we can't understand. It goes on, being totally unpredictable and unstable and disappointing us constantly. How annoying! If it's always changing, was it ever real in the first place? Trust not in shape-shifting appearances, which we believe are there, for they can never free us from the fear of believing in them in the first place. What's not steady and certain is not there. It's an illusion. Therefore, it's not true. Let's not believe in lies. Today's topic is truth. It's all that matters because it's all that is. It may not seem like it, but it is. How? Well, because lies are untrue, and untruth has no being. Believing in unreality, which is lack of being, hurts. In truth, heaven is all there is. In the unreal world of fearful ideas and appearances that depict those fears, it is said that the truth hurts, but in reality, only unreality hurts. And unreality is what lies are. Therefore, even pain is unreal. Truth is 100% true and feels real good. It's totally reliable, trustworthy, and benign. In fact, it's better than benign. It's a state of constant nurturance and giving to oneself. And that is what it is to be real. Oneness, which is the state of mind known as heaven, or love, is all there is. And that, my friends, is the truth. When we give to ourself, and that self is forever safe and forever overflowing with abundance. And this is certainty. Certainty is the opposite of fear. Thus, love is certain. Can lies be certain? Our belief in separateness is a big, fat lie, despite its apparent realness. Appearances deceive because they are appearances and not the truth. Appearances, being untrue, are always changing because they have an imaginary source. Reality is reality because it does not change. Does stable, reliable, and safe describe the world we think we see? No, it does not. Therefore, only heaven can be real and only heaven can be true because truth is stable, reliable, and safe. Heaven is a state of mind that we have not lost, though it is temporarily not remembered. That thought is still quite firmly planted in our mind because God put it there, in us and as us. The truth is the only idea that can have being because it does not conflict with anything else, includes everything, and goes on forever, changelessly. Every other idea doesn't cease to be as much as it never actually became, because anything but the idea of one conflicts with all other ideas, therefore battling with all other ideas and effectively canceling every unreal idea out simply because they are not real and cannot be. Simple, isn't it? Untruth can, thus, never be consistent or solid or real. Truth is whole. It is entirety, which is complete, lacking no parts, and already done. And this is what love is all about. It includes everything and is everything, put together with no divisions in between its aspects. Ideas outside of this are nothing because there is no outside of this. The only love there is the love of God, and thank God we have it because we are it. But let's begin with the ideas that seem to exist in the dream of the world we believe is real and is separate from God. None of them are true. It's not real, and we are not in a world that's separate from God. Yet, in this unreal world, which is basically an impossible nightmare that ended before it began, we believe in our own beliefs, not realizing that reality is beyond belief. All beliefs are simply erroneous ideas. And no matter what we believe, it can never affect the real world that continues unabated in truth. Nothing in a dream is real. In a dream of what can never be, everything is a lie, or not possible, thus unreal. Lies are unreal. Truth is real. Let's keep that idea in our mind for a bit, shall we? In a dream, we try to convince ourselves that we have successfully defended ourselves from threats, not realizing that the only threatening concept, the idea of a world of separation, isn't possible. We believe we have secured our, quote, lives, not realizing that in a dream we are more dead than alive because it's not real, and we believe we have figured out the world, not realizing that there is no world and reality cannot be conceptualized. We believe our ideas that we cherish are true despite ample evidence that all the separate beings out there have their own opinions on everything that don't match up with our own and are usually the opposite of what we think is true. We think we have convinced ourselves that we are happy, even though it's impossible to be happy in such a state of instability and uncertainty. Folks, if we believe we are here and watching this video, we are not happy, at least not in our awareness. We are simply denying that we are miserable. Of course we are miserable here. No joy can exist in a dream based on an impossible idea. It's not possible to be happy in unreality. Let us use our power of denial properly. Let's use it against unreality instead of reality. We must believe it to see it, not the opposite. When we learn to trust truth, which is God and his extension, us, as one, we have begun to accept the fact that only the truth is true, and we can begin to deny the reality of fear-based untruths. Admitting that the world we imagine actually sucks big time is the first step to attaining freedom, which we already have because truth must already exist and everywhere. We are living it. We are our happiness eternal, since this is what God is, and he created us the same as himself. This is certainty, my friends. Certainty is truth, and truth is love. How is truth love? Well, because only truth is safe and only love is sure. Certainty is the proof of love, which is truth. Why do we doubt love? Because we are trying to understand the truth from an unreal and thus not true perspective. Lies can never be certain because only truth is. We will not begin to even get an inkling of the true idea of real reality until we comprehend that only truth is true and lies are not. They are not only not true, they are not anything. Is a lie something? No. Truth and lies cannot both be real or true. The world we believe in is a lie, so we cannot remember truth when we base our concepts on false ideas. Remembering truth requires knowing who we are, because our source is the only truth there is, and we are a part of it. Truth and love, which are the self-same idea, are what we are, because truth and love is reality. We cannot exist in unreality, so every non-loving idea is actually nothing. It's not threatening, it's not dangerous, it doesn't hurt, it has no effect on us at all. We cannot expect to conceive of what is real if we believe in the world as it seems and appears to be. Reacting to imagined appearances that we made up in a fearful state of mind and engaging with its shadow figures seems to cement us more solidly to unreality, yet Can unreality, which is nothing, be bonded to? What's not there cannot be adhered to. Hello? We cannot be stuck here because we cannot be here. Thus, we are and have always been free from all tyranny and oppression, ugliness and sadness, despite delusions and fearful concepts that try to convince us these things are true. Defending oneself from imagined enemies or achieving imagined levels of safety against imagined enemies does not make us safe. It only reinforces fear by building walls to keep it out. The more you fear fear, the bigger and stronger it seems to get. Truth is not something that seems true. It is true. Whatever seems requires belief to sustain it in our imaginations. But what is true requires no belief on our part to be what it is, because God sustains it forever. And this is the reality that we need to remember. It's there, but it's behind our own concepts and ideas that we have erected before it in our minds. Unreality is just a thin veil that cannot keep the truth out or diminish it in any way. Untruth cannot last because it simply has no real foundation. It's like mist in the sunshine. It simply disappears, having never been there in the first place and being no match to the truth. What happens when we are dreaming a nightmare and suddenly awaken? Well, the dream is over. Were we ever endangered by the dream? When we believed we were in it, it seemed so, but when we woke up from it, we realized that it was no threat to us. Beliefs have no real power. They only have the power to make appearances, which are all illusory. This is the key to understanding the paradox we seem to be in. Seeming ideas and concepts, appearances and things, all which are in a constant state of change, are not real. And can we be in a state that only seems real? No. We can only be what is real, without a doubt, without any changes, that was never born and can never die and has always been. It doesn't matter whether we believe it or not. What is for certain is despite denials. Let us simply succumb to the truth, which requires nothing but surrender of cherished false concepts. And then we can begin to be fed truth, little by little, so we can adjust to what being truly happy and at peace is all about. Not only can we have it, we already do have it, because only what is true can we have. To know you have it, give it, but don't give what's not there to give. If you do, you will attempt to receive it and you will be afraid because you cannot have it and will feel displaced from reality because you have deceived yourself. Give only what must be true, which is real, unconditional, non-judging, and non-condemning love, which sees all things as one, and then we will realize that we are love because we can receive it being true. Pensive thought to ponder. Why are we afraid? Haven't you noticed by now that no fear we have ever had has ever materialized? The stuff that seems to assail us seems to come from nowhere and unexpectedly. And even those fake fears disappear. We don't realize their unreality immediately, but after their seeming attack, we look back and realize that God has never, ever failed to deliver us from the effects of unreality, even in our denial of his fatherhood to us. Wouldn't it be overall a much nicer idea to simply accept the fact that we are God's son, whom he is well pleased with, and that he loves us, and that if God, who is everything, is for us, what could be against us? Well, certainly not nothingness. Let us not fear what is nothing. It's a waste of precious time. Time does have an end. Let's use it wisely, shall we? See you in my next video.